We are being joined over the phone by former Minister Amperin Lingdo. Welcome, Ms. Lingdo, to Bottom Line. We are talking about the representation of women in the Rangbah Shnong, women as Rangbah Shnongs, to be precise. Do you support the move? What is your stand in that, ma'am?
It's a very simple stand. I have about 3 major darbars in my constituency, which is East Shillong constituency, and for sure in my constituency, women are very active participants in this traditional institution elections. In fact, women are also adequately represented in the executive committees of the Darbar. So I feel that being a very forward constituency, we are in the heart of the city. There has been no resistance to women electing a traditional headman. Now, if you ask me about my stand as to whether or not women should
What about
vote,
women getting elected as headmen? Women electing is
no,
fine. What about women getting elected as headmen? What
I
do you think
will
about that?
not. I will not support such a drastic contradiction to our traditional institutions. I would say that it is an age-old practice which has been tested over a long period of time. And by tradition, custom, and practice, a headman is always a man. And if I have to support this kind of a demand, then I would be going against everything that is traditional. I'm clear in my mind that we should not want to change this entire system 360 degree because it's not going to have any positive effect on traditional institutions and their performances. I don't think that it is necessary at this point of time because this is something which we need to support. So I'm not one who would want to see a woman headman. Otherwise, it would topsy-turvy this entire custom and practice of the Khasis.
But,
So
ma'am,
I'm very clear about that.
all along,
But
go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
but in several traditional institutions in the rest of the district, we do see that there are some institutions which are still very traditional in nature and don't even allow women to participate. So my stand here is to appeal to such institutions to be inclusive in the 21st century. We should not isolate women because there is no one institution that can survive without women participation. There are so many areas where women take care of. Say, for example, law and order situations. Whenever there is a crisis in any traditional institutional area, it is the women that come out and appeal for peace. If there are conflicts, if there are such issues where men on their own cannot handle or solve these issues, women are always called in and roped in. So I'm very clear about this. I don't want to support a traditional institution where you have a woman as a headman.
But, ma'am, again, within the Khasi society, there are people, there are activists, there are people who feel, we always talk about women's empowerment, we always talk about women being given leadership roles. Why not start with the Rangbah Shnong? Every locality has one, and women have delivered as leaders in Meghalaya. So why not? Yes,
Doesn't
traditional is
matter.
one. You did highlight it's traditional. We cannot break the tradition. Is that the only reason?
Not that that's the only reason. I have a history. I have a custom, a practice which has been in practice for so long. Now, why do you want me to do that? If I'm a woman and I want to take up a leadership role, then I'll enter into these other arenas where there are fair elections, where there are no biasness, where there are no restrictions. Because I have proven that if you want to contribute to the community, you can go contest the elections, either the MDC elections, which are the 6th schedule district council elections, or you can come to the MLA elections, or you can even contest for the MP elections. But this is tradition. So I personally feel that I should protect that tradition. That's my stand on this.
Can I make a comment here?
Yes, come in. Yes.
Because I'd like to educate the MLA that
No,
it is
you
not
don't have to
tradition.
educate
It is
me.
not
You do not have to
culture,
educate me. I have
and
a
it is a
stand.
misreading of history. You
No,
joined
this
late.
is
We have
my
discussed
stand.
this.
Now you can't say that I'm
but
illiterate.
no, it's
I'm
fine.
not
But
illiterate.
personal stand
No,
and
no, you
personal
can't do that.
prejudice,
You can't do
it
that.
cannot be the basis on which we implement our constitution.
It doesn't
And
really
constitutional
matter.
rights, it does matter, because this is being hypocritical. In fact, let me state here what I was trying to state before, that the KHADC saying they will have a referendum is again hogwash, because in front of the Parliamentary Standing Committee, they clearly
Doesn't really
stated
matter.
that they do
I
not
was also
want
there
this.
in that same
And
committee. I was
sadly,
also a member
all
of that,
our traditional
of that audience.
institutions are being held back because of
That's
this
not
question
true.
of them being unable to fulfill the constitutional guarantees under Article 14 and 15. Funding is being stopped. In fact, even the Parliamentary Standing Committee has made an observation that it is not just high time, it has to be done. That,
No.
Meghalaya has to respect Article 14 and other constitutional guarantees.
Meghalaya has
So we
to
cannot
also
be playing to the
respect
gallery and to
traditional
say that you
institutions.
allow
No,
women
no.
to be MLAs and MDCs and not
Okay,
allow
we
them
will
full
let
participation
Ms. Ampreen
in a
Lingdo
Doesn't really
respond to that.
traditional
matter.
institution.
See, Nabarul, we can all have our own opinion. There is no one opinion which is going to dominate everything. I was also there in that same parliamentary committee meeting. People may have their personal views about it, but I am
No,
one
but like I
who will
said,
support
personal-
the traditions. I am not illiterate. Doesn't mean that because I'm supporting something which is my custom makes me illiterate. But I
It is not
definitely
the custom.
This
Do
is
you
a
know about
democracy.
Same
You can all
Latampam?
have your own ideas, but at the end of the day, you cannot just topsy-turvy everything because of some constitutional rights. We shouldn't forget that we have our own traditional rights as well. So
Sure,
it doesn't
slavery
matter
and
about
caste
who
was
else
one
in the
small
panel
tradition.
thinks what.
Once
Doesn't
upon a
really
time,
matter.
slavery
This is
was
my
said to be
stand.
tradition. Sabrimala
Doesn't
case.
matter.
You know?
Doesn't matter. People
No, that
are
means you're
permitted to have their
anti-constitutional.
own
You're
stand. My
anti-constitutional,
stand
and
is
you're
very
once
clear,
again
Nabarul.
just using this
Okay,
thing of
okay,
tradition to
I
hold
think
back more than half of the population
Doesn't
of our
really
society,
matter.
and it is
I
wrong.
wouldn't want
And
to
you can
see a
have a
woman
personal
headman.
opinion.
That's my
You can
stand.
have a personal opinion, but personal prejudice
Okay.
is not the
That's
basis
not
on which
a
our
prejudice. That's my
constitution will
take on
be
this
implemented.
issue. Other people who are very modern can go ahead and be modern. We will not stop them from their modern purview of the world. But I'm not going to dilute my tradition because of one voice that says we should do it. I feel that
It
we
is
should
not one
respect
voice.
everybody.
And let me tell you about
We should
being
respect
modern.
everybody's views, and we should also remember that, come on, one person's view is different from another person's view. This is my view, Nabarul. You're asking me, so this is
Definitely.
it. Don't call me illiterate.
all right.
Just
all
a
right.
moment.
Ampreen
Views
Lingdo
have to be different.
Ampreen
Views
Lingdo
are
has put
different,
forward her
but
views.
personal
Here,
prejudice
her
is not the
stand on the
basis on which
issue.
the Constitution
Personal
works.
about it. This is tradition.
And one more
You
thing.
need to
One more thing.
respect the tradition. Why is the sixth schedule so unique? Because of these traditions and practices. So
One thing about
we can
tradition,
go
if
on
you're talking
debating,
about
it's fine.
tradition, I'll tell you, okay, let me tell you about tradition. The traditional governance structures earlier, if you're going by tradition, the chiefs had to also perform religious functions. They no longer do that. They modernized. There are very few that still continue
That's
with the
not true.
traditional rituals.
That's also not
so
true.
that is fine. But for women
That's
to
very
participate is not
controversial,
fine. That
Nabarul,
is
because
just
Okay,
we
this-
still
this-
have
this-
the
this-
chiefs
this-
performing.
this
What
debate
is the
will go
Nongkram
on.
festival? Nongkram festival, Nabarul, let me tell you, you should know this as well. The Nongkram festival, you still have the chief doing his practices and rites. What is this? You still have
What
it.
about
It's
the
still
other
very current.
Darbars?
It's
What about
still
the other
very- You
chiefs?
still
We
have
only
the
have
Nongkram
Milim
dance.
and
You still have
Nongkram.
the religious festival.
No,
It is
no,
the
but the chief
Who's
the
the
chief
same?
within
Who does it?
Shillong also ought to be performing then rituals and
Then we
religious
should all, if
functions,
we
because
are
that
hanging
traditionally
on
was
to
what
these
they were supposed
traditions,
to do.
Naparul, then we
Now,
should
if they
all
could
go back to wearing
modernize,
what
if they could
everybody else
modernize to
wears.
drop that
Even
and
our
not
One thing
anymore
is
clothes,
certain,
hold
this
everything.
the
this
Khasi
debate
traditional
this
practices,
debate needs a longer time.
surely this
Yes,
thing about
yes,
women.
yes. See, we
I'm
can
running out
all
of
be
time
women in our
here.
own right.
Uh,
We don't have to turn around everything in the name of modernity. I'm proud to be Khasi and I protect that interest. If somebody else has a different opinion, they're entitled to it. But you don't rubbish off other people's opinions as well.
all right, I'm
The
completely
same thing
running out of
happened when
time.
India was asking for independence. There were people who said that we were not ready for it. Now, the same people who are just using the
Do
trope
not
of
relate
tradition will say women are
independence to
not ready and should
tradition.
Okay,
not.
let's
And this is
There's
really
a lot of other
wrong
things that
to
goes along
continue
with
to
all of that, but
mislead
it's okay.
this
Yeah.
community.
let's last words from Bajon Khashing. I'm running out of time very quickly. What is the way forward, Bajon Khashing?
I think, with due respect to both the panelists, I feel that uh, MHA, Government of India, must come quickly with the state government, district councils, and properly constitutionalize these institutions, just like they have, clearly put the panchayats in a specific article. Why I'm saying that is, like I said, I repeat again that way back 73 years ago, the Khasi State's Constitution Making Darbar had already nominated 4 women into the political process. As Madam Ampreen had mentioned, that a number of MDCs have also come up, MLAs, and so on and so forth. In fact, today, even in the Mandrega,
Yes.
the chairmen today are
DECs.
also
Yeah.
women.
Women.
So,
Yeah.
my
So
point is
probably I
that
think all of you will agree there's probably a need for a thorough discussion within the society, within the community. Probably then we can move forward on this. Well,
Nabrun,
yeah,
can I just come on this
yes,
one last
yes,
point?
very quickly, yeah.
The official reply of the District Council Affairs Department to the court, I've gone through that the affidavit. They admit that while in the many parts of the Shillong, under Hima Millennium, because the current debate is a challenge to the Millennium Sameship Act. So the District Council Affairs Department has mentioned that while in the many rural areas of Hima Millennium, women are still not part of the process. The ground reality in the Shillong city is rather different.
Yeah.
So this is where I think our system is dynamic, and it would not agree to any imposition. So I think when they legislate the laws in district council, they should keep an open and an open mind. So
Absolutely.
when society has accepted this process, then they will it's just like many localities in the city, they have women participating. So that will be another problem for a court
Absolutely,
to say,
point
okay,
taken.
like
I'm
this,
sorry, I'm absolutely running out of time. Thank you so much, Ampreen Lingdo, Angela Rangad, Bajon Khashing, for your valuable inputs on this. I'm sure things will move ahead and we'll definitely find an acceptable solution to this. That's a wrap.